How's it going, guys? Topic for today's video, why I'm transitioning to a starch-based diet. So I've been primarily following a fruit-based diet for say like the last 4 years or so. I originally got into this when I was following 30 bananas a day. I was eating like 2 boxes of bananas per week, so like 80 pounds of bananas per week, just really smashing the fruit in. Reason for this is because I wanted to clear up my acne. Because I'd read on a blog somewhere that by going raw vegan, it can help clear your skin. And at that point, I'd done the pharmaceutical route and all that kind of stuff in terms of trying to like clear up my skin and all that kind of stuff. So I thought, you know what, I'll start eating a healthier diet. So I've been doing that for like the last 4 years or so, and it has gotten better. Like right now, it's actually really good. But just say, over the past 4 years when I've been traveling and stuff, like it's gotten better, it's gotten worse. It's really kind of been up and down. And it has been frustrating at times because, I came to this lifestyle because I thought it was like super healthy. And because, if your body's going to be healthier, then, you're not really going to be having a lot of acne as well. So something that I've kind of noticed, just by not only my own personal kind of experimentation, but through talking to other YouTube vloggers and people who have been either following like a raw till 4 style diet, or they've been following a raw vegan diet, is that like actually maybe their acne clears up for the first little part, but over time their skin actually ends up getting worse. People who have never had acne in their life, once they start eating a fruit-based diet, they start getting acne, and they're really kind of confused with that. And it's not until they either, a lot of them do different things that I've kind of talked to them about, but when they move back to a starch-based diet, or they just move to a starch-based diet just for the first time, is that they actually notice that their skin really clears up, like almost immediately. So this is another kind of like fun little experiment that I get to do. So eating a completely starch-based diet to really kind of see if it like really clears up my skin long term. Because I've had times when I thought that my skin really was actually totally cleared up, and then it would like come back, and I'd just be really kind of confused and annoyed. But so this is something that I'm going to be trying out. And the primary reason why I think that eating a starch-based diet might be better for your skin is because of the insulin response. So I've read that, a big contributor to acne can obviously be basically be insulin in the body. And so when you're consuming a lot of fruit and you're also, consuming it in a, say a smoothie form, is that there can be a pretty big insulin spike in the body, especially if you're adding refined sugar to it. So when I've noticed that my skin was the absolute worst over the last 4 years, I've been eating, a low-fat vegan diet, primarily fruit-based. The times when it has been the absolute worst has been when I was eating refined sugar. So when I was cycling through Malaysia and Thailand for the last time, something that I was doing in order to get calories into me throughout the day is that I would add just pure sugar into one of my water bottles. So I would have like a bottle of just normal water and a bottle of sugar water. And my skin, like I remember like when I was riding through Malaysia and Thailand, I'm just like, my skin was like just absolutely brutal. Like just so many whiteheads all over my skin. I just could not believe it, right? And other times, like especially when I was in Australia, that's when I first started getting into adding refined sugar to my smoothies and all that kind of stuff. And like I can look back at videos that I recorded when I was in Australia, and I'm just like, why? Like my skin is terrible there. Just terrible. So actually kind of like naturally, say over like the last 5 or 6 months, I've actually kind of been gravitated towards eating actually more starch-based. So primarily I would say throughout the last 4 years, I've eaten at least 60-70% of my calories coming from fruit and the other 30 coming from starches. But recently it's kind of been more like 30% of my calories are coming from fruit and then 70% of my calories are coming from starch. So basically what I'm going to do now is 99% of my calories, or like 95% of my calories, are going to be coming from starch, and the other, 1 to 5% is going to be coming from fruit. So this is just going to be, fun experimentation time. And something else that I'm going to be doing in this experiment is I'm not going to be eating any overt fats. So I've also really enjoyed avocados, and maybe I'll have like 2 or 3 a week. Sometimes I've had over 7 a week. So it's kind of varied in terms of like having overt fats, but typically my fat percentage, just dependent on the number of like sheer calories that I eat, is my fat percentage is usually still around 10% or so. Like it usually doesn't go above 10%. So I'm going to try going no overts as well, just because other people, specifically on the starch solution, have noticed that, if they add any, say they have some nuts or they have some avocados or they have a bit of oil, then they notice that their skin just erupts, right? So basically going to go completely 100% starch, and no overts as well. So we're going to kind of basically see how that goes. I actually haven't had any overt fats really in over a week's time, and it's really like, I think my skin's starting to clear up. And also, I basically drastically reduced the amount of fruit that I've had. I haven't bought any fruit in over a week now, which has been different because I've been so used to like spacing out my banana ripening and like all that kind of stuff, and having lots of dates and all that kind of stuff. So this is like experimentation time. This is something that I recommend all the time. If something isn't working for you, try something else. Like, give it a shot. Give something a shot for like, at least a few months, 3 or 4 months, 6 months. But if what you're doing is not really working, and say like a lot of girls are gaining a lot of weight on a fruit-based diet, and so that's one reason why Hannah and I are kind of like experimenting with really a starch-based diet, is because people who eat a starch-based diet typically just lose weight like that. They lose it so much more, just so easy, right? Whereas like people are gaining weight on a fruit-based diet, which is kind of like, which isn't good when a girl is like really, really like hoping that this is going to be the solution to a problem in her life. And it could be for guys as well. Absolutely. Not just women, but for guys as well. Awesome. If you have any questions or comments, definitely leave them in the box below, and we'll talk to you soon. Awesome. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. Peace out.